Next up on the menu, we have Sneko's own friends are done with him. Ooh. Yeah, Sneko is a spineless coward loser, doesn't stand on shit, doesn't really fight for the shit that he claims to believe in, and he's kind of just like a spineless, wimpy jellyfish loser. Let's get about the video. Talk to me.
In the infamous words of famous rap group Houdini, friends, how many of us have them? Friends, ones we can depend on. Content creator Sneko looks like he's going to be putting that to a test, as seemingly every single one of his friends in the industry is turning their back on him left, right, and sideways.
To be honest, it's like so many people are turning on me right now. So many people are switching up. I've never seen this many people switch on me, bro. I've never seen it happen. I don't have a lot of people supporting me right now. There's a lot of pressure from a lot of different angles. Perhaps I'm too paranoid.
Sneko. You. I have had it up to here with Sneko. I have been tolerant. I have been far too nice. I have been taken for a sucker. You don't want my friendship? You don't want me as a friend? Let's see how you like me as an enemy. Iceman used to be a nice man. Now it's on sight. You know, I was very positive towards him. How about some negativity now? Maybe we'll try that. I'm a very simple person. If I'm nothing but positive and nice and you treat me like, okay, let's try negative then.
Now I'm mad. But as much as I don't fucking like Nick Fuentes, I don't like Sneko either. So I don't like them about the same amount because they used to be friends and they did the fucked up shit together. So it's nice to see them go at each other's throats. This is very interesting. They're chimping out, both of them.
Negative. I'm not going to give up on him entirely, but right now, I mean, this guy's just like treating me like a piece of. He's been a terrible friend, and I'm sick of it. And it's not about the drama at all. He's just being I've been nothing but nice to him, and he's throwing me under the bus for this piece of Jew Bilzerian. Okay, man, if that's your buddy, then that's your buddy. You're gonna dog me to, what, be more friendly with this guy? It's just so nasty.
Literally, just a few days ago, we talked about how all these mega institutions are turning their back on content creator Sneko because of the way that he was portraying himself on the internet, couldn't take accountability, and ultimately would double down on super duper bad takes. Now, normally you would think that birds of a feather flock together, and these friends that he has accumulated over the past couple of years would be supporting him in his actions, his decisions, making, and his words on the internet. But you'd be wrong. Starting with the brand risk event and him being banned from it, and now onto Nick Fuentes publicly chastising him on the internet, it seems as though Sneko has lost all favor with the friends that he has gained in the industry. They're calling him a headache. They're calling him hard to be around. They are saying that the juice is not worth the squeeze. No longer can you blame the institution for being too woke. No longer can you blame these people for being too PC. You have to then start asking yourself, if you are Sneko, maybe I'm the problem. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long way. Become my friends. Now, we're gonna be real friends here. We're not gonna turn our backs on each other based off of some things that we said. Unless you're Sneko, then we'll probably do it. Now, back into the video. The institution is no longer the problem. These are personal relationships. Over the past couple of years, Sneko has been seen connected with the people that kind of make him look cool in his eyes. I guess the Tates of the world, the Fuentes of the world.
He's a clout chaser and he doesn't even stand on the shit that he says. Like, this is Sneko, right? He's the guy that you used to go to school with. He'd be a part of your little nerdy friend group, right? If you had a friend group like that. And he somehow got in good with the cool kids, but the cool kids just make fun of him. That's why they have him around. They just make fun of him. And he doesn't realize that. He thinks he's a part of the cool kids, though. And now he's like almost unrecognizable because he walks like them, talks like them, but he still gets bitched by them. So no one really likes him, not even the cool kids, because they never did. And now you don't, because he's not even the same guy that you used to recognize him as. That's what Sneko is. He's a weirdo guy trying to fit in where the money is. That's basically what he is. And recently, it's just been him trying to fit in because there's been no money in where he's trying to go. Because the grift always shifts. What is popular public opinion always shifts. What is not the popular public opinion always shifts. So he has to constantly be grifting, and then that contradicts himself, which weakens his conviction. And now we have this slime ball jellyfish man known as Sneko.
the Aidens of the world, the Claviculars of the world, the Myrons of the world, all the people who are on the worst part of the internet, if you ask me. It first started off with his back and forth with Walter Weeks about their ideologies and content, to the point where Walter just totally said, I'm through with him.
Sneko told Myron, listen, bro, you gotta choose a side, bro. Either Fresh or me. And motherfucker was shooting in the gym. You weren't with us through all the hardship. You showed up randomly trying to grift off of us. And then the moment it didn't make any money, you left the movement. So Sneko is nothing more than a grifter, aka a finesser that meets people, uses them for content, has no real loyalty.
This is LARP versus LARP again right here. That's what this is.
Actual bad person.
And then at that Miami incident, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate completely threw Sneko underneath the bus. The only ones that he had left from that clique were Clavicular, Aiden Ross, and Nick Fuentes. But now the back and forth with Nick Fuentes is sealing his fate. He is no longer cool in his eyes, and their relationship is looking like it's over.
Fuck Sneko. I go out to New York. He doesn't want to do the collab.
Sorry
then
if you hear
he
background
takes a
noise.
30-minute call from Dan Kazarian shitting on me. He says, I'm sorry, that was the wrong thing to do. I say, okay, I'll let it slide. I still like the guy. And then it's just an unrelenting stream of sneak dissing. It's almost like it's in the name, sneak dissing me. That's the way it's gonna be? You don't want me as a friend? You don't want to collab? Oh, I'm just all about the drama? You know what? Fuck you, man. You don't want me as a friend? Let's see how you like the Groypers as enemies then.
Now, for the past couple of videos, I've been criticizing Sneko's attempts at being a content creator on social media, and the things that he's saying are now catching up to him in the eyes of the institution. But this is totally different. This is showing that even the things that he says on social media aren't being looked at by the institution. They're looked at from the POV of people that he once called him friends, and they're saying that they're weak, they're trash, they're disgusting, they undermine them, and they're not standing for it anymore. Nick isn't some sort of corporate entity. He comes from the same controversial sector that Sneko does. So now when you have your friends saying that, yo, there's something wrong with you, you're two-faced, you're hypocritical, you're all these different things, at some point you do have to look internally. Nick Fuentes severs ties with Sneko, and not just severs ties, because I think severing ties just means I'm no longer going to be affiliated with you, but completely flips on him and says that he is an enemy of Sneko now. And for what it's worth, Sneko has always had enemies, but at the end of the day, now his allies are becoming enemies. And I can't help but put a smile on my face in all this. So funny when people find out that they're still a nigga in a coupe. It's hilarious to me. Now, I'm not saying that I condone anything that Nick Fuentes is saying. He basically has started a cult and is now like launching this cult of racists onto Sneko. It's actually very extreme to watch in real time. I'm just highlighting the fact that the people associated and affiliated with Sneko have essentially turned their back on him. They're realizing that he's not the friend that he says he is. And then also from a public perspective, like from a POV of how people would view somebody being next to him, they are viewing Sneko as a real life liability. Even Sneko had to acknowledge this. Not too long ago, Clavicular came to New York and decided that he was not going to collaborate with Sneko. Why? Because of the headache and the liability that a name like Sneko draws to Clavicular.
Yeah, we didn't get to do a collab while we're out here. Yeah, it's the same thing like with Clav, dude. You guys are saying collab with him. I knew how it was gonna be. Like, Clav and I are friends, but you gotta understand there's a separation, especially with industry friends, between content and like real relationships. So Clav comes to New York and you guys are saying do a collab. I know exactly what he's thinking. It's nothing against me, but he just understands that that's gonna cause him certain headaches, and maybe there's certain deals and stuff, and that's gonna be possibly a bad representation of him right now. Because come on, like, who is pulling the strings? We go on the phone because people are saying, call Sneko, do a collab. He's like, oh, I'm a little busy right now. I gotta do something tomorrow. I know what he's thinking. He knows what he's saying. He knows that I know what he's saying. What he's saying is like, yeah, okay, we could do a collab, but right now it's not the best time. Like, we both know that.
I'm formulating sentences that have never been formulated before. Clavicular has decided that Sneko is a brand risk. Clavicular, the one who was taking all of these, drugs to make himself look better, looks maxing to the point of causing himself harm, who's also been in the hospital ODing, been choked out on live stream. Clavicular
and
is
uses
saying
the
that
N-word as a white man.
Sneko is a brand risk risk and a liability. How low do you have to be and how much of a brand risk do you have to be for the people that are in question here to say that like they don't want to be seen with you because you might potentially mess up their brand deals and their other obligations and responsibilities? Now Sneko can't turn this conversation into, hey, cancel culture is after me, the woke mob is trying to get me up out of here, or something along those lines. He has nobody else to blame but himself in his own actions.
Because no one
these
likes
aren't
him.
corporations or entities
the
that have
woke
set up shop and positioned themselves to be some sort of holier than thou company, maybe grifting and pandering to a certain demographic, or truly doing some good nature work. These are people whose brand and identity is about being edgy. Literally, Clavicular has done drugs on live stream and he's saying that Sneko is a liability. That is so crazy. This is where Sneko's career is now. People can laugh with him, they can joke with him, and they can kick it with him behind closed doors, maybe. But at the end of the day, they don't want to attach their name to him because of the stench that he brings onto their name. And even if there was this attempt to prove that narrative wrong, that he was a good guy, Sneko takes every opportunity in his power to prove these people right and say like, yo, I am the guy that they say I am and I don't need to be around you.
I think academics saying, stop speaking on black folks. Uh-oh. Stop speaking on black folks. Is this what he said? If he actually said this, if academics is telling me to stop speaking on black folks, bro, you could just tell them stop speaking on Americans, go back to Jamaica, you know? Why are you speaking about American issues? Chud the Builder, this is an American issue. I think you should talk about Jamaican issues. You're not from America. Speak on your country. Speak on Oxtail. And wine. American issues, this is separate. Okay, this is for FBAs.
How is he still trying to do this racist, like, grift to the right when the right doesn't like you either? So what are you doing this for? We all know you don't mean it, nigga. You're half black. Okay? Nobody who's black is going to say this to another black person, no matter what creed they are. Not to, like, unless they're a raccoon, of course. Like, what the fuck is this guy's angle? What is his plan? Nothing he does ever works out. When is he gonna get it that this shit is not gonna work? This is his 50th time trying to be controversial, to stir up motion, to stir up engagement, to stir up, like, to basically grab the pedestal and pull himself up. It never works. He just get a couple lulls from people like me and Omeezy and Astro Dior. We just kind of laugh at the nigga. We Young Don just kind of laugh at him, and then we move on. Simple as that. Like, what are you doing? Niggas don't care that much.
Foundational black Americans, not these transplants from Jamaica, born all the way over there, with your oxtail, with your rice and your plantains, yeah, with your curry goat. Go back to Jamaica.
Mind you, all academics was telling Sneko was, hey, you're insensitive in this time where a white man is attacking a black community and giving black Americans some sort of problems. It's funny how my latest videos are all tying back to Chud the Builder. It's so disgusting. The space is disgusting right now. It's gross. But Sneko's response to that was no sort of self-reflection. It was, well, if you're Jamaican, you should stop too. And no matter how you feel about the sentiments that Sneko expressed, it just clearly states that this is the exact reason why people are exhausted by him. He's never taking criticism and taking that moment to think about the actions that he said, how these things may be perceived, and what it may do to some of the friends that he's built in the industry. He quite literally always, and I do mean always, uses any sort of criticism or pushback, even when he's caught dead to rights, as some sort of moment to counterpunch, to say like, yo, fuck you, guy. Fuck you. What's wrong with the things that I'm saying? Is this attempt to galvanize certain communities? The larger point isn't whether academics has his own contradictions or not. The larger point is that Sneko continuously centers himself in conflicts and other conversations surrounding communities that he doesn't belong to, and wants to take this super duper radical stance that clearly alienates himself. When he gets proven wrong, doubles down, and then has people who are around him distancing themselves from him. When his friends distance themselves from Sneko, it's not random. It's because they see how every issue turns into a bigger issue when dealing with this guy. The saddest part about it is that Sneko is understanding in real time how much of a liability he's becoming, but he's not doing anything about it. In the last video, we talked about how Sneko got banned from the latest brand risk event.
And then be so ignorant to what, hey, well, brand risk is tomorrow. I can't go, dipshit. You stupid fucking idiot.
He's so
I was not
angry
allowed in
that
the
he
last
can't
brand
go.
risk. Brand risk tomorrow, are you going? Oh my my God, bro. This is it, and it's fine. I'm not upset about it.
Now, what was later confirmed was that because Dana White and the UFC were at the event, that's the reason why he had to be, you know, removed from the event or banned from the event or could not go to the event or whatever the case may be. Is a little bit irrelevant to me in the conversation.
I didn't call anybody out. The last night's brand risk, I think, was probably the best one, and Aiden deserves credit for that. They put on a show. It was great. And I understand, like, if I probably can't go because Dana White's there, certain streamers are there, it's just gonna cause an issue. It is what it is. I'm not upset about it. I get annoyed off of you guys. Why'd you go to brand risk? Dude, you guys need to understand what it is and how the game works. And to be ignorant about that after everything I yap about is cortisol spiking, I need to work on that. Aiden put on a great event, and it was awesome. There's no beef. There's no complaints. That's what it is, man. We got to accept it. That's my position in this industry.
What's interesting to me is how these friends who have built this relationship off of, you know, not turning their back on one another, sticking through thick and thin with one another, all this other grandstanding bullshit that they've been saying for the past couple of years, seemingly switch up for different opportunities, but they only switch up on one person. You see, when Sneko was going through that whole situation in Miami with the HH stuff, Aiden Ross stood up for him. Now, Sneko didn't think that he did, but even when they had a conversation on live stream, he made it pretty doggone clear that he was going to be Sneko's friend no matter what.
You did. So why are you saying I don't know what's going on because I'm a branders? I don't give a fuck about none of that, bro. Pull up. I said that.
My point is, I don't think that you talk about me the same way you would talk about Speed or Kai.
They're not Sneko. You know I don't talk to them at a close level. I speak to you every day.
He sounds like a jealous ex-fucking boyfriend. Holy shit. You don't talk about them the same way you talk about me. Ugh, this is hard to watch.
Right or wrong?
Even then, I still, it's the same way. I'm not trying to, like, that's okay.
Sneko, you're my close friend. We speak every day. I don't speak to Kai and Speed. What?
I want to talk about my friends highly. Like, I want there to be, especially when they're not around, and especially in a situation like this.
I expect the same thing. Don't say, oh, Aiden Jew, all this. Don't do that then. See what you're doing?
Don't do Aiden Jew what? What are you talking about?
Do not do this thing where you need to be consistent. Meaning, are you...
Where am I inconsistent?
You just tried to compare Kai and Speed to you. Bro, no, that's way different.
Yikes.
Compare you to like Cheezer or Cuff'em. We all crack fucking jokes. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with cracking jokes with your friends. I'm close with you. I'm gonna crack jokes with you. You're gonna crack jokes with me. What the fuck? It's not rocket science.
I passed Omar. See, why that clip matters to me is that normally Aiden Ross says that he would put everything underneath Sneko. Sneko and his friends are above the criticism. He treats them at a different level, etc., etc. But he's willing to turn his back on Sneko when it comes to this situation right here. Why? Because it always becomes this sort of argument. It becomes a sort of tit for tat. And it's not a good business decision. That's why later on, when Aiden Ross saw this clip of Sneko reacting to the whole brand risk situation, saying that he got banned, he straight up ignored any conversation about it.
Dana White is commentating, and I want to be like, hey, does anyone here want to ask why I'm banned from the UFC? Is anyone here going to be like, hey, Dana White, why is Sneko being treated like the Boston Bomber? There's 8 people banned from the UFC. Dana White says that he doesn't ban people. The ban list is me, Dylan Dennis.
I don't think I've ever seen Aiden Ross just not react to anything. Just no reaction, just vibes. I'm moving on. That's why this story has moved from Sneko got banned to Sneko's just hard to be around. They don't want the clip. They don't want that.
Yeah, bro. If Aiden Ross, of all people, is hitting you with the... this guy again, or whatever. Let's move on. He doesn't normally do that. He normally harps on shit for way too long. Yikes, bro. You're kind of fried. You're out of your top.
A headache. They don't want the backlash. They don't want the argument. They don't want the bitching. They don't want the moaning. They don't want any of that stuff in regard to anything that Sneko is saying. His friends are simply choosing to just not be around him because it's better for them as a whole.
Because he comes off as a whiny brat, bro. He just whines and complains and whines some more. He's always bitching. Like a fucking woman would. Like, bro, do you have balls or not? I'm not misogynistic, obviously, but this is some shit a feminine person would do. Unless you're gay, come out the closet. Hey, I ain't got nothing against that. You all know what I do. You all know me. But yeah, it's just something so feminine about the way he whines, you know? It has feminine nature in it. The way he whines and complains about, you don't talk about those guys the same way you talk about me. It's so weird, bro. all that being said, 1,000 thanks for watching. You guys let me know what you think of Sneko in the comments below. And I kind of feel like I'm beating a dead horse here because no one really fucking cares about Sneko to begin with at all. I just haven't really seen much on him, so I wanted to get caught up and see exactly what he's doing. And surprise, surprise, he's on the same shit. Binge the rest of the videos on my channel. I think you'll enjoy those. If you liked watching this one with me, it won't be the air conditioner going off in the background in most videos. Sorry about that. It was just pretty hot today for me. Thanks for watching. Have a better day than me.